DCeased Dead Planet is the newest addition to Tom Taylor's rapidly expanding storyline, and all I've got to say is, yeah! What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel, your source for the latest and greatest comic book reviews. And as I said, guys, today we are talking about Tom Taylor's DCeased Dead Planet issue number 1. This is the first in a 7-issue series that is adding to this storyline going on with DCeased. Now, if you didn't read the previous DCeased series, I would highly suggest that you go back and do that. There are several different storylines out there, and I'm going to kind of get you caught up a little bit here with what those are. Now, the first series that was released was DCeased, that released last year in 2019. This was, I believe, a 6-issue mini-series in which there was this anti-life equation that was released upon the Earth, and basically it spread by way of screens. Computer screens, TV screens, phone screens, and it quickly just turned people kind of into zombies. They started tearing away at their skin and everybody else. It was the anti-life equation, and the superheroes were going around trying to put a stop to it. Many of them were infected, many people died, and it ended up with people having, basically the human population and even the superheroes having to leave the Earth to find a new planet to live on, because they were all going to die if they stayed here on the Earth, with everybody kind of being consumed by this anti-life equation. Now, there was also a one-shot put out there called DCeased: A Good Day to Die, and what we got in that was a little bit of backstory that we see being expanded upon here in this new series. We got a little bit of what was going on with what's his name, Mr. Terrific, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm not familiar with all this stuff, so please forgive me or feel free to beat me up down in the comments below. Go ahead. It's all good. I'm not like some sort of like DC professional here, okay? But I have been reading this story. So, this kind of told a little bit of the story of some of like Apocalypse and a couple of like his kids, his son and his wife, maybe? I don't know. Hell, I don't know. And it also told us a little bit of story of John Constantine and what was going on with him during this time as the planet was kind of falling to this anti-life equation. Then after that, they released a 3-issue miniseries called DCeased Unkillables, which told us, it was a 3-issue miniseries that told us what exactly a lot of the villains were doing in the meantime, while all of this was going on, aside from what the heroes were doing during this DCeased main timeline, just the main story. And it was a very good series as well. And then DC has been doing some digital only releases of the series. It's called DCeased Hope at World's End. That's it. DCeased Hope at World's End. One that I would highly suggest going and checking it out. They are only 99 cents, and I think they're like 12 pages. So it's like a half comic. They're all like these little half pages. It's a pretty good little series. Really offers a lot of insight into what has been going on through these throughout all of these different storylines. Kind of just like a nice little thread, stitching them all together. And these are all being expanded on here in DCeased Dead Planet issue number 1. Now, I'm telling you guys, this book was really good. This book is being written by Tom Taylor. It's got art by Trevor Hairsine. The inks are by Gigi Baldassini and Stefano Guadiano, colors by Rain Barreto, and letters by Saida Temofonte, cover by David Finch and Dave Stewart, and there are some variant covers as well. I'll show you those names right there. You can take a look at. I'll go ahead and show you this. This is the regular cover here as well. I've liked this series. The art here on this cover is very nice. I do have some nitpicks about the art in this book. I will say there are several points in this book where the art really, really does bug me, and it really started to stand out during that Unkillables. But here, there's some really great things in here. Like, here, this art right here. We get Batman. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm telling you. I know. That little shot there of that's Damian Wayne, right? Damian. There as he's donning the Batman suit, but then we get here into this next scene a little bit here, and then like what happened? Like his body got elongated. His body got a little bit elongated there, and there's several different examples of that going on here throughout the story, and I really started noticing like some of the art in some of the other series is kind of like, man, I just don't know. Like, in some spots, this really doesn't do it for me. Like right here as well with the Green Arrow, we can see right here with his neck. Look how his head is, the disproportion of his head to his body. And that's just a little bit of the art. I'm not going to kill this book based purely on a few inconsistencies in the art. Other than that, the coloring in here, the art otherwise is actually pretty good. Now, what's going on here in this story, as I said, it is expanding on exactly everything that's happened in the DCeased series, the Unkillables, the A Good Day to Die, and even those little tie-ins. Those tie-ins that were going on, those digitals, were well placed with what's going on here. That DCeased Hope at World's End issue number 4 was really good. Again, they're only 99 cents. Go check them out. Was really good as it tied into this, into what it was telling here in the story. Now, this story does kick off where we see John Constantine kind of talking about and reflecting on exactly what happened in the issue that he was in, and just kind of what he's going to have to deal with in this world. And then we get this story, just kind of this this as the narration is going on here, we learn that Cyborg had actually lived, and he was sitting there for years and years. It was 5 years to be exact, where he was sitting there kind of deciding like what happened, what was wrong, and ultimately it comes down to something that was actually in that first series where, you know, he's trying to figure out where did it go wrong, what went wrong with it all. Well, he ends up finding something. He finds a little bit of hope out there, and he sends out a distress signal. Now that's where we flash to our heroes who are here living on Earth 2 now. They are now on Earth 2, and we see them sitting here kind of in this fight, this little war with these people who actually inhabit this planet. Where they're there, they want the people from Earth 1 to get out of here because it's they're kind of a threat to their way of life. Or we see they're all just trying to put a stop to these guys, and they want to be diplomatic and say, hey, look, we're just here as refugees. We want to stay here until we can find a better place to live. We realize it's inconvenient for you, but we don't want to fight you. And they're all just kind of having some discussions here about things like that. So then we later we get back to the Hall of Justice here as they got this distress signal from universes and just miles and miles away, right? As he sent out, Cyborg had sent out this distress signal. So they're all kind of sitting there discussing exactly what they're going to do about, you know, heading back to Earth, heading back to get their friend Cyborg, who is here, basically sending out an SOS, telling them to come back. And we can see there's several different people here just kind of getting involved in this situation, just in this conversation, and exactly how they want to deal with it. Well, it turns out basically the new Justice League decides to take off. They're going to go and recover Cyborg, and they are going to send the Green Lanterns back and everything as soon as they are done to protect the planet, so they're not just sitting there, you know, without any kind of defenses or anything like that. So they get to the Earth. And of course, the Green Lantern Corps is sitting there protecting the Earth from anything from going in or going out, basically keeping it all contained. So I don't know, just some pretty cool stuff here as we all get to the planet. As they first get there, they get a little surprise coming out of the planet, coming in to meet them. And who is it? Oh, that's right. It's Crypto. Finds his way, you know, kind of took him all surprised. So then all the heroes end up going down to the Earth to get Cyborg to recover him. And obviously they have trackers on him because something covered in the first series where Batman had put trackers on everybody, and this was kind of something that helped lead the heroes there. Well, this also actually kind of becomes something that really kind of leads to what happens at the end of this book. Now, as I said, there was that DCeased Hope at World's End where it kind of tied into it kind of ties into this, where we seen in that issue number 4 where we seen Superman was having a discussion with Damian Wayne about becoming Batman. And it was just really good conversation that he had there. And then we see here, where it's 5 years later, as Damian Wayne and even his son, I can't remember who's Superman's son's name. Come on, guys, I'm not really big into this. You get, like I said, beat me up down in the comments. Where they are now, they're basically the man of the house. They are the Superman and the Batman that the world has, and they've got the new Justice League, guys. I've got to say, I really enjoy this book. This is definitely one I think you need to check out. It's not really about zombies, because I'm not really into zombies or anything like that, But if you want a good story, well written, so good on so many different levels, especially, you know, I don't know. I can't even think about it. I'm sure there will be plenty of people, whether you have read or haven't read this, commenting on it down in the comments below. Have you read DCeased Dead Planet? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, I am Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here on the Second Street Marvel today. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. If you'd like to support this channel, please hit the join button and learn a little bit more about the memberships and how to become a channel member. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.